Radio Bypass, bringing you rock and roll music that deserves to be heard. Discover new bands. Here's some old favorites on Radio Bypass.
Hey, Radio Bypass. I recently learned about a killer band from Southern California called Kings of Karma. And they got good karma because they got a killer single out right now. But I want you to know about the band too. So joining us today is Chris Gates and Joe Barry. How you doing, guys?
What's going on, bud? Great to be on.
Yeah.
What's up, Radio Bypass?
Bypass. It's great to have you guys here. So the single that I just mentioned is Falling to Pieces. And I discovered that you also had released an album earlier this year as well. And I wish I had known about you guys sooner because I love everything I've been hearing from you.
Thank you.
I've gone and checked out the album. Haven't had a chance to live with it too much yet, but the little bit that I have, I'm in love with it, and I can't wait to really sit down and really concentrate and soak it all in. But because you're kind of new to me, I'm thinking you might be new to others as well. So I thought we'd start with a little background on the band, and maybe for starters, how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for about 10 years now, and we started off just playing together as teenagers, and got into the cover band world and just started kind of just getting tighter and tighter with mastering our craft. And then we just started writing more songs together and just kind of went the original route. And Joe and I have been just trying to pump it out ever since.
Gotcha. Now, Chris, you're the singer, and then Joe, what do you do in the band?
I do backing vocals and I play bass.
Bass. Okay, got it. And then do you guys pair up on writing a lot of the songs then, or how does your songwriting come together? Usually, so many times it's the singer and the guitarist, right? So
yeah, it's always
like
different. Joe and I do songs together. Sometimes I do them by myself. Sometimes another member teams up. So it's always a little of everything. But Joe and I are just the bosses, I guess.
Well, you must be a good team because you're writing you guys are coming up with some great songs. And I assume, so the single that is what turned me on to you, Falling to Pieces, when I discovered that there was an album earlier this year and the single came out just recently, I'm assuming that's got to be a really fresh track then, because I don't see that it was part of the album that came out earlier this year. So was that like a late write and too late for the record? And
actually, it's quite the opposite. It was a song I prepared for the next record.
So
and
you're jump starting.
Yeah, so I was adamant on that, but our producer and stuff was saying, like, now that the album's out, we should pump out another single. And I said, okay, so I just kind of brought to the group what I had kind of in the vault ready to go, and everybody liked this one, so everyone picked this one. I would have never picked the song to be a single. I just thought it was a good album song to kind of like have on a record, but everyone liked it, and they said, the chorus is catchy. It's gonna get stuck in your head. So let's go with that one. So we're like, all right, Falling to Pieces it is.
Yeah, well, and I agree because I hear the melody even when I'm not listening to the song.
Yeah, that we did our job.
Yep.
And to me, that's always a winning song. That's a well-written song when it can stay with you like that, or at least for me anyway. I listen to obviously lots and lots of music all the time, but there's always just a few really though where silently I hear the melody in my head, and so I always feel like, at least in the old days, that was a hit, if you can get the earworm, so to speak, going. And I feel like this song accomplished that. Plus the range in your vocal is just astounding in that song. It's just I can't hear it enough. It's so soulful and yet so rock and roll all at the same time. It's really good.
Well, then I did my job because that's what I was going for.
I think you did. So Falling to Pieces, I assume the response has got to be super good with that song. I watched a video just today. I don't usually do videos. I like to soak in music orally only first so I can kind of see how the song speaks to me. I don't like seeing videos for a while. But I checked it out today, and again, just I love that song. So I assume it's got to be getting well received.
It's doing actually pretty good, especially on Apple Music. Streaming numbers have been definitely over 11,000. So it's been one of our better songs that have gotten a lot better responses than uh, past songs. So yeah, it's not doing bad for us. It's definitely it's always getting us a step closer and just moving us in the right way instead of going backwards or going forward. So that's all we could ask for. We don't
Right.
expect to be um, overnight sensations, but if we can keep getting closer to it, that works.
Well, I think you're on the right track, and the album, which is called "Bite the Bullet," guys.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
I think it sounds great too. And again, I haven't gotten to live with it very long. I've heard "Falling to Pieces" many more times than I have anything from the album because I'm learning about it very recently. But a couple early favorites I have are "Calls My Name" and "Giving Cup." Giving Cup.
Giving up. Yeah.
Those are two of my right now my standout tracks from the album. May change after I get to soak it up some more.
Oh,
More
and
time
you
with
haven't even
it.
got you. In my opinion, you haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
Well, you must think "Calls My Name's" okay because it starts the album.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, it's like they're all. It's kind of like your kids. They're all our babies, but does anybody have a favorite? Of course.
No, no, you can't. Well, then we'll talk and we'll get back to that because at the end of this, I always like to add in a little bit of music, and so obviously I'm going to play "Falling to Pieces" in this interview, but also I want to play something from the record. So we're going to let you pick then, and you're going to tell us what one of your
Oh, that's
favorite
hard.
tunes are.
That's hard.
So again, if somebody's new to the band, like I guess we should stay on topic of the single. You know, if somebody's hearing you for the first time and that's their introduction to Kings of Karma, what would you want somebody to take away from hearing that song? What would you like them to think about the band?
We like groove and we like making people feel good. So if the groove is making you feel things and you're loving it and the chorus gets stuck in your head and you're like you said, you're singing it after you've even listened to the song, then that's all you could ever hope for. I think any musician would say people being able to learn the words and sing the words back to them at a concert is always the greatest feeling. That
Hmm.
your poetry is making people want to repeat it, you know?
Sure, sure. You got any thoughts there, Joe?
Yeah, like Chris said, man, is if when people listen to it, if they can get onto the groove and they can appreciate and connect with the subject matter that we're talking about, then we're on the right track, man. That's what we like. We like to be able to relate to people.
Got it. And you guys mentioned that you were doing covers and doing the originals. Are you still doing both? Are you still out? Because I know getting at least back in Chicago where I'm from, but the only way you can get halfway decent gigs is playing other people's music. I don't know what it's like where
Exactly.
you guys are.
Sometimes, I mean, as a business, like, if you want to make money, you got to do some covers. But we don't do a lot as much as we used to do. We only just do a little bit just to kind of keep us what would it be the word I'm looking for? Kind of keep us like our momentum up, you know what I mean? Like making sure we're still good because when you do play a bunch of other kind of music, it kind of keeps you well-rounded. And we'll play funk, we'll play Zeppelin, we'll play a wide variety of genres and stuff like that. So I think it always keeps us, leveled and making sure that we're like keeping up momentum and stuff like that. So I mean, even famous bands still play covers. It never
Oh,
stops. I
of
think
course.
there's a joy in it too because I mean, all these songs that you're covering are the whole reason why you even picked up an instrument to write a song yourself. So it's always a pleasure when you get to play a song that you really love with a band and it sounds good, it's tight and it's great. So there's always still that because at the end of the day, it's a business, but you also have to love what you're doing. And if
Sure.
if the love and passion of it fades off and you're really just there for a paycheck, then why be in the music industry anymore if it's just soulless? So I think it kind of helps all of us stay intact on just enjoying what we still do and making us still love doing what we do.
That makes sense to me. Well, that's maybe a good segue then for the question I always like to ask musicians. So I'll start with you, Chris, since you got us there. Talking about singing, since you're the singer and an amazing set of pipes you have, young man. What are your three top influences vocally?
Oh gosh, I thought you'd never ask. Uh, first and foremost, Paul McCartney. I don't think there's a better singer that has the range he does. Well, I take that back, but Paul McCartney. Um, I would definitely say Robert Plant, and I don't know. I have so many, but if I really have to just narrow it down, oh, I would have to say I'm gonna go with Rod Stewart, to be honest too, because
Oh, all
I,
good choices.
I do like the, at least lately in my career, I've been getting a little bit more soul and bluesy with
Hmm.
my type of singing and the growl in my voice and stuff. And Rod Stewart has always had a cool feel to his voice because he can hit such high notes, but it sounds like he has a bunch of nails in his throat. And
Right.
it's kind of what creates that thing. And you would think with, it doesn't sound like he could hit the high ranges he does because of his type of voice, but he does. And I always found that to be so unique how high he can sing, even though it sounds like naturally he wouldn't be able to sing those kind of notes, but he does. And the amount of growl and rasp and stuff, it's unique. It's what sets him apart from everyone.
Agreed. Agreed. Well, those are all good choices. I could not narrow down to just three singers either because there's so many that I love, like Paul Rogers, we did not mention here, but another great one that's kind of like that. He sings higher than you think, but
Freddie Mercury, I mean, Freddie Mercury
yeah,
probably has some of the greatest ranges from low to high that you can go. And surprisingly too, I would have to say a lot. You're never going to hear people say this, but a big influence on me vocally is Mickey Dolness from the Monkees.
yeah, he
So
has a cool voice.
I mean, he has such a unique range, and nobody ever talks about his voice, how great it is, and it really is fantastic. And I'm a big Monkees fan too, so that helps.
Yeah, yes, it does. So is my daughter a big Monkees fan. And then what about you, Joe, for bassists? Can you narrow down three of your top influence bass wise?
I mean, John Paul Jones is always a big one. Love me some JPJ. Um, but it's pretty funny because I started off playing guitar before I ever picked up any bass. So for me, a lot of my musical influences came from guitar, and that's what got me wanting to play. Like my grandfather, growing up around him, he's an amazing guitarist,
Amazing.
and I was fortunate enough to grow up in a household with an awesome musician that not only does he know his theory and he can tell you all this stuff about, you know, why this note sounds good with that, but the dude can just shred as well. So I got to grow up with this fantastic guitarist. And then once I started getting into music on my own, one of the very first bands that I ever discovered that I fell in love with is Foreigner. When it comes to vocalists, I think Lou Gramm is so criminally underrated. He's fantastic.
Agreed.
But Foreigner was a big influence, and then later on I got more into the metal side of things. So Pantera was a huge influence for me. uh Bands like Lamb of God, you know, that whole era of that American metal that was coming out was,
Right.
that was my jam. I loved it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I assume a big Dimebag fan then.
Oh man, I cried my eyes out when he died.
Yeah. Well, that was such a sad situation.
Situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in my radio days, many moons ago, I got to meet him and chat with him for a bit in Chicago, and he was just such a sweetheart of a guy too. So yeah, that
And
just
you hear that so much about him too, man, that he was just down to earth, just a cool
he
dude.
was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's very sad. But that's interesting. What made you switch over then? Why didn't you stick with guitar? What made you switch over to bass?
Yeah, just like with anything, no one wants to play bass, and I happen to have a bass. I happen to have a bass and an amp, and I was willing to make the sacrifice.
Maybe you're going to make the joke, hey, it's two less strings to deal with, you know? But no, nowadays, of
That
course, you got
helps.
seven
Bass
string
players is always
basses. And,
taking the easy way out.
that's right. That's right.
I like melody more than chords, anyways.
Well, the bass and drums, it's so important. You got to have the
So important.
foundation. So you don't have a
Joe gives
rhythm
the
section.
soul. Joe gives the soul up your spine in our band. That's what Joe does.
Well, there you go. We got to see your band play. You guys got any shows coming up?
We do actually. We have the Holding Company in Ocean Beach, San Diego, this Saturday, November 15th. It's going to be a great show. It's a super cool venue right on the beach. It's beautiful. It's a great venue, and we love playing there. And that's going to be a great show. Saturday, November 15th, the Holding Company.
Awesome. Awesome. And then I looked around for you guys. I see you do not currently have a website, but your band is so freaking good. I think you need to get one.
We have a new one that's about to launch. We're finishing the final touches on it. So it'll be kingsofkarma.com, and that should be launched in December. So we just wanted to update and get everything brand new, and our merch and everything selling. So we kind of went back to the basics and just kind of redid everything. So our new website will be dropping in December. So that will be ready to go.
Awesome. Good, good. Yeah, that would be good because for me anyway, when I'm trying to keep track of what bands are doing, that's usually my easiest avenue. I just look for the website and because usually those get kept up to date. Not everything else like social media, although you guys probably do a great job keeping up on social media, but not everybody does. So I usually trust websites more to give me the data I'm looking for.
As of now, the best thing I would say to people to do is our Instagram. That's our heaviest using one. It's Kings of Karma Official, and look for the blue check mark. That's us. Or
Okay.
look for all this hair, and that's the best place to go follow us right now until the website's up and going.
Got it. Okay. And Kings of Karma official on Instagram. Yeah, that's good to know.
Blue check mark. It'll say it right next to the name.
You guys need to be followed. So going back to the album a little bit, when you put that out, I assume, was this a self-release that you guys did it yourselves earlier this year?
Yes, we did. We're always, looking for new opportunities, but as of right now, we handle all that. So just trying to run a business and keep high production products going.
Well, and that's my question as far as product. Is it available in a physical form or strictly digital?
As of now, it's digital. We do have, that's why we're getting our store and everything on the website. We are going to be selling vinyl. So that is in the works because vinyl's come back in a big way again. So CDs are still not nostalgic enough to sell. So we'll have boxes of CDs that don't do anything. And then we find ourselves just giving away free CDs as promo. So tapes, same thing, still not nostalgic enough to come back super heavy. But vinyl has come back in a huge, huge way. And it's up there with streaming. It's selling just as much as streaming is. So it just makes more sense if we're going to have a physical copy. People want vinyl again. And even if you don't have a vinyl player, people will still buy vinyl just to have as decor. So, you know what I mean? And vinyl's cool, man. I'm a big vinyl collector, so I'd rather have vinyl than CDs anyways.
Mhm.
But yeah, we just thought there's no point of spending all this money to get all this product that we don't need. And there's a lot of the times too, a lot of bands make that mistake business wise is that they just think they have to have all of it. And it's like, no, you really don't, man. You got to read the market. The market, no one's buying CDs yet. It's not a thing. And it might be, give it maybe 10 years and CDs might come back in a big way again, like vinyl has.
Right.
And then it makes more sense. You only want to sell what you know you can sell, or then you just have boxes of shit that, sits around and gets dusty. And then you find yourself spending that money and then just handing the CDs out for free just so you can get rid of them.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you know, everyone, I don't want to say steals music anymore, but like, nobody buys records and buys CDs anymore. Everyone either pays $4.99 to have a Spotify account, or they still illegally download songs. So my goal at the end of the day, if I can sell you a record or you're going to go steal it anyways, I would rather it just be in your house and be in your ears than trying to make a dollar from it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
That's the only, because at the end of the day, getting, monthly followers, getting your numbers up nowadays, that's how it works. That's money. Each
Right.
follower, look at it like a $5 bill. That's like getting tips, so I'd rather just more people hearing our music and following us and listening, becoming monthly listeners. That's money to us. So
Mhm.
each person that does that, that's our goal. That's what we're trying to do, because with that opens more doors for opportunities that are going to be a bigger payout in the end. So it's just all about getting those numbers up and getting the fan base. So that's what we're doing and trying to create, is just building the empire of a fan base.
Good. Well, you've started with me at least. I'm in.
Ah,
Uh, well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I hope that works for you. And yes, I agree with you about the CDs. Except me, I still buy CDs. I end up probably overbuying stuff because I'll buy the digital and then I'll just get the CD a lot of times, or I still get the vinyl. Because in my case, I never got rid of my turntable. I've had the same turntable for ever, and I never unloaded any of my vinyl either. I still have.
smart man, smart man.
Although I got to say, new vinyl, a lot better than some of the vinyl from my youth, because it's so much thicker now and more durable. Doesn't seem to and it sounds better. The
If
sound,
you can ever get a vinyl that's in 180 gram,
that's what I
that's
get
the thick
now.
one. That's the one that's going to sound the best.
Yeah, no doubt. I just feel like a lot of young people don't necessarily care about the fidelity. So many people just listen to their music on a smart speaker or something, but I still love full fidelity. I'm all about hi-fi.
There you go.
All right. Well, before we get into the music and wrap things up, is there anything else that you'd want people to know about Kings of Karma?
If you like good, authentic rock and roll, and you like good songs that have great hooks, great lyrics, and it's going to make you sing and dance, we're your band.
You echo that, I assume, Joe?
Yep. Go follow us. The more we have, the easier it'll be for us to get out and about, because we really want to go on a big tour, man.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I imagine Spotify too helps you.
Always.
Spotify, that's what we try to tell people to go to. If you are going to follow us, you are going to go listen to our music, please go to our Spotify. That is what helps all bands, not just us. Any band that you want to support, go to their Spotify. That is what helps them, because that's the industry standard. When labels and management look you up, the first thing they do when they're interested in you is they go look at your Spotify. And if your numbers suck, they're not going to take your call until those numbers are up, and then they'll take your call. So
That's good
if
to know, because I usually boycott Spotify because I feel like it
I do
doesn't
too.
pay the artist anything.
Yeah.
So I don't, I do try, and I'm not perfect with it, but I do try to do the follow on the social media things. I do try to follow or subscribe to the YouTube channels, hoping that that's helpful. But Spotify, in fact, my own podcast, I used to always be on there, and then they took it down because of potential copyright infringement. Even though what I play, I get sent to play
Yeah.
show, but they stopped accepting it. But that's not why I boycott it, though. I boycott it because I feel like, 1 million streams and maybe the artist gets a check for 5 cents or something. So that always bugs me.
It is, and that's the thing too, is like I don't care for Spotify. I am an Apple Music user. I think it's better, but that's not the industry standard. Unfortunately, business wise, Spotify is what they look at. Spotify analytics is how they keep up with what bands are doing well, what bands we want to work with or don't work with. Unfortunately, that's just the name of the game. So it's like we have to keep the Spotify thing going. I don't personally have a Spotify account. Only Kings of Karma does. So
Gotcha.
it's just how it is. And I know a lot of people do use Apple Music or Amazon or something, but the high majority of people globally around the world use Spotify. So it's still the industry standard until they kick it off, even with all the controversy they're going through right now. Like, it hasn't killed their numbers. People still use their Spotify. So
Yeah.
you know, it's just a matter of knowing the game and playing the game correctly. That's the
That
only way you're
sounds
gonna
like you
move.
do. So
Learning.
I will hit whatever I gotta hit on Spotify just to help support you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, so now we're gonna wrap things up with you guys so we can get into some of your killer music and people can hear your amazing songs. So everybody, we're gonna start with the current single, but we're also going to follow it up with something from the album that I just discovered, Bite the Bullet. And so you mentioned you have some songs that are beyond the two that are my early favorites. So give me a song to play. What should we? What do you like the best from?
Well, I would say in our opinion, what I think our most fun single would be a song called Sugar Mama.
All right, Sugar Mama.
Joe and I worked very hard on that song.
All right, I'm writing it down so that I don't forget when I go to put this all together. All right, Sugar Mama. All right, guys. So Kings of Karma official. Follow them on Instagram.
Look for the blue check mark.
Look for the blue check mark. I don't have one for RadioBypass. I'm a slacker. I suppose I should get one for RadioBypass also. But follow these guys. Trust me, you're gonna love them. I'm blown away. All thanks to Falling to Pieces getting me started on my Kings of Karma journey. And I guess follow them on Spotify or whatever it is you do over there. I'll go take a look myself. But we've been talking to Chris Gates, vocalist, Joe Barry, bassist. Thank you guys for coming on RadioBypass and
thank you for having us.
It's about your band. And everybody stick around right now. We're going to start out with the single, Falling to Pieces, and then we'll crank into Sugar Mama from Bite the Bullet. So turn it up just a little bit louder now. Here's Kings of Karma.
I'm slipping